And balikan na po natin ang isinasagawa ngayong joint session ng Kamara at Senado kaugnay sa hiling na martial law extension sa Mindanao ng Malacanang.
When are we going to start building more houses? And when are we going to see development in the Lalao Lake development area? These are the things that our people are expecting. Otherwise, we're just conducting an exercise in constitutionalism that we're having martial law to quell all rebellion, Mr. President. So, may I have an answer, Mr. President?
Mr. President, Mr. Speaker, the end state that we are looking at is a peaceful area with sufficient development so that the people can sustain their livelihood, their living. The kids, they are free from fear, their kids can go to school. All the perks and benefits that areas in Luzon are also enjoying. That's the end state that we need, that we like.
Mr. President, that is a wish devoutly to be attained, but we have to have a clear program. Are we going to have economic benefit? Are we going to make sure that tourism gets there, for example? Are we going to be able to have trade investments go in there? What are the plans? This is what we need. We cannot just go after Abu Sayyaf. They will come back if there is no economic development.
Your Honor.
Yes, please.
Okay. Mr. President, Madam Speaker. Your Honor, we continue to commit all these development activities from livelihood to training, empowering our people so that they can have more sustainable uplifting in their economic status. So all these development and livelihood programs shall be enhanced, Your Honor.
Mr. President, I don't want our time wasted here, and I don't want to waste the time of our colleagues here. Let me ask, what specific things? Are you going to start building the Mindanao train?
The infrastructure development bill, Your Honor, is committed to do all those 75 projects.
Your Honor, the gentleman is my friend, but he's telling me propaganda. What I'd like to see is a timeline. A timetable where they're going to say, we're going to build the train going around Mindanao, because in Mindanao, anything you sink on the ground will grow. But the problem is, our countrymen in Mindanao can't bring their produce fast enough so that they can have money. And I will remind the gentleman, Your Honor, that we have 4 or at least 5 of the regions in Mindanao that are quite poor. And so, even if we extend martial law, kung wala naman tayong papasok na hanap buhay na bago, at walang makikita na panibago doon sa ating bayan, eh talagang uulit yan. I'm sure the military will agree. I'm sure the gentleman from the Department of Trade will agree.
Tama po. Kaya po, in fact, the infrastructure project that you're mentioning, Your Honor, is part of the build list of projects. Isa pa po.
I know it's part. When?
Wala ho yung schedule sa akin, but it is in the priority list po ang Mindanao Infrastructure Program. At in terms of investments po, right now, mas maraming pumapasok na investments going to Mindanao that will create jobs. In fact, I can cite some of the projects like the hydropower, some manufacturing projects that are investing. I cited earlier, Your Honor, the growth in investment in Mindanao, and we expect that to continue to grow. That will provide the lasting solution to employment and livelihood and businesses.
Mr. President, I can say it better than you can, but we want specifics. Di ba pwede this year we're going to have the train started? Di ba pwede to tell the people in Mindanao you're going to have jobs in the following areas? Is Tesla there bringing jobs in accordance with the plan that we're going to build for Mindanao? This is what the people are asking for. Alam niyo, kausap ko yung staff ko kanina. Sabi ko, marami akong kaklase nasa economics, Maraming mga macro, ito, growing GDP, pero walang relevance sa tao. Here, you're asking us to extend martial law, and I want to be on the side of the government here, and I want to make sure that they don't come back next year. And the only way they will not come back is if they see and feel that jobs are being created, that there is an avenue for tourism. For example, Lake Lanao, is that going to be a priority by the government? Lake Lanao, I know the train is a priority.
Just specific po, Your Honor.
I remind the gentleman of the time.
Some specific, Your Honor.
Please wind up.
Okay. Just for this year alone, we have approved, meron pong papasok na Pulangi Hydropower Corporation in Bukidnon. By Friday, we are signing also an the first integrated iron and steel project between a Filipino and a Chinese company establishing its operation in Mindanao in Fibidec. There are hospitals and manufacturing corporations also that have been approved, and they are already putting investments, Your Honor. So these are just some indications that the investments and new projects are coming in.
Mr. President, I know that there is very limited time, and I will abide by your advice. I just want to make a statement here. We will be extending martial law every year unless we can show the people that there is some economic development that will happen there. And what I'm talking about is not just platitudes. People have got to understand that what the government is doing there, and I will be specific. Number one, when do we start building the houses of the people who lost their homes there? When do we start coming in with the business and the incentives and the background? We have much to learn from South Korea, from Japan after the war. They had a plan. It seems that after this war, we still don't have any plan. And it is important that we in the Senate and the lower house understand that we are going to have to face the public later on, and if we do not have anything to say to them, then it's going to be a repeat of the same record again and again and again. On that note, Mr. President, I will withdraw, and thank you very much for giving me the time.
Thank you, Senator Gordon. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that the Congress further extend proclamation of martial law and the suspension of the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus in the whole of Mindanao for a period of 1 year from 1st January 2019 to 31st December of 2019. And to hasten the proceedings, Mr. President, I will just submit the explanation of my motion and the explanation of my vote on a later time and consider it read and inserted into the records of this body. I so move, Mr. President. Madam Speaker.
Is manifested.
Congressman Lagman is recognized.
Madam Speaker, Mr. President, I am informed that as of now, the House does not have copies of the purported letters of the Chief of Staff and the Director General of the Philippine National Police recommending the extension of martial law in Mindanao, which recommendations were the basis of the President's request to Congress. May we request for the submission now of those purported letters of recommendation?
Session suspended.
Session suspended in the part of the Senate.
Mamaya babalikan po natin ang ginagawang sesyon sa Kamara kaugnay ng hiling na martial extension ng Malacanang.